Hello and welcome back to another Kids Talk Sports video. Today we are going to be going over the JJ Watt release and possible places he can go. So first, I guess we can talk about, who do you guys think is the most?
Oh,
I
Steelers
think we
for
should
sure.
talk about Texans first. What they lost
Yeah,
means for
okay,
them.
okay. So basically Texans, right? So they obviously we know that there's conflict between Deshaun and them. So it's kind of interesting that they were willing to release JJ Watt that quickly.
I think it was
So
the same day that he wanted to be
yeah,
released. He got
which
released.
yeah, it's I understand why if Deshaun Watson's really that good, then you would never get rid of him. But JJ Watt, I think they have to kind of do whatever he wants because especially with how bad they've been. Like it
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
for how much he's done for the city. So, yeah, but then, anything else to add about that?
I guess I would look for them to maybe go rebuild and because they have a lot of now money to use, so they could make a big splash in
Mhm.
free agency, and then if they go rebuild mode, they get the draft picks. If you're not good, obviously, but if you don't go rebuild, you can go
Yeah.
try to win a ring, which you will never do. But I think the best way is to go rebuild because that way, if you got rid of JJ Watt, that big contract of his, and now you have money to maybe make a splash in free agency, or just try not to try, I guess, and just get the
Yeah,
good draft
exactly,
pick.
basically, and then get a good draft pick.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But then
Because
Deshaun, obviously, I don't know if he's gonna actually stay.
because I don't know if he wants to be part of a rebuild. If
the
because
the
it
Texans,
seemed they started doing that after they let D Hop go, or for
Yeah.
David Johnson.
All
That's
right,
when you.
Sanj, what were you saying?
I think the Texans. I don't think they have a bright future ahead of them. But I think the only way they're not gonna win, they're probably not gonna get a ring. But I think the only way they maybe could get to the divisional round or the championship round, uh, would be by rebuilding, like Abe said, because if you think about it, they don't really have many more players. They have a lot of money. So I think this draft is crucial. I think that Watson is probably going to go as well. So I think they need a good QB. And yeah, and then I think next year is going to be just like a horrible year. They're probably going to go like 2-14. And then they're going to get better and better over the years.
Also,
Yeah,
I'd like to add another thing. If you trade Deshaun, you probably want to get like 3, 4 first round picks. If
I know,
like
which is way overpriced.
I know.
that's
But
what they said about Stafford. If they
that's
guys
the
get that many,
I maybe give them a third round
that's the
I
pick.
would
thing.
take Watson over Stafford though. And then it's
I
like
would too. The Stafford thing totally screws other teams up trying to get a QB because
Mhm.
now you have to do more than what Stafford was traded for, and that was a ripoff too.
Mhm.
So I don't know. That's going to be
It doesn't
interesting.
even have to be that many first round. It could be like a couple
Yeah,
first and
but
maybe 2 seconds
listen,
or
if
whatever.
they're really gonna get rid of first off, if they really think Deshaun is that good, you wouldn't actually trade him. So that'll be interesting to see. I don't think they got the coach he wants, but whatever.
Yeah,
Possible destinations. Uh, I think the most interesting one is the Steelers because he has two brothers on that team, one on the defense and the
And
other, I
one's a
believe,
fullback.
fullback. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
so that could
CJ Watt
encourage.
and JJ Watt on the same defensive line. That's
Yeah,
Scary.
pretty deadly. Yeah. And that defense is already really good. The only thing I think though about him going there is they're not going to win a ring because unless they don't even have a good draft pick, and Big Ben's still going to be their quarterback as of now, and he's not going to win a Super Bowl.
Again.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I think that it can be encouraging and discouraging because your brothers are on the team, you get to be with them, you get a deadly line, you're right. But then I feel like also they're probably not going to win a ring there. And you never know if he's going to be the locker room. I feel like they might have fights in the locker room, or they might have like small arguments, but it could also be better because they might like work together better. But I feel like it's like one of them will want to be better than the other, maybe.
Yeah,
And you have
which
to
would
think
be-
about the money too.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that could always be better too because it's like they're striving to be better.
It's
But
a
I
hit or
feel
miss
like
type of situation, I guess, is what.
it could
yeah.
cause conflict.
Honestly, if he goes there, I don't know if he's willing to take less money. He probably is, but I really don't think the problem is if he's gonna go to a different team. I thought the whole point is the Texans aren't going anywhere in the next couple of years, so then he was gonna go to a team that's gonna possibly win a Super Bowl. So then, honestly, the moving on, I guess, would be like the Bucks or something, uh, who just won, obviously.
Well, Brady's getting old. He only has like 2 or 3 more years at max.
Yeah, but I
You want
mean,
me to
he
go
literally
for-
just you don't know that. He literally just won a Super Bowl at age
Yeah.
43. How I mean it's much better than like Big Ben. So
Mhm.
if he's gonna go there, I believe they have 2 free agents, Shaq Barrett and Levante David. So if both of them are gone, that gives them cap space.
I don't know if they'll be gone because I don't know. They could win another ring, but I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, so and I
I
think
see.
they'll at least be one of the top teams in the NFC again.
See, I see that like the Bucks, they do like kind of basically the same thing in the season, except they have like a really good start and then they start going a little bit downhill at the end of
Who?
the regular season. The Bucks.
This year?
This
No,
upcoming
next
year.
year.
Okay.
Because
Um,
I see them doing that, and then they're gonna do like okay in the playoffs. I just don't see Brady winning another Super Bowl. I know I'm not giving him the favor, and that's always and that's how he wins. He's the underdog. But like, I just feel like I still don't see Brady winning another Super Bowl, which is
I think with this Steeler situation, I don't know if you want to mess up what you have. I think if they can get like a young quarterback, at least like a decent young quarterback, like because honestly, Devin Bush tore his ACL, right? And then you have I forgot his name, but there was another guy. I think he tore his ACL too. And they have a really bright future for that defense. Like, do you really want to spend all your money on an old guy? Yeah. And and then you also have the potential of it not being a good because they're brothers, right? Like it's different if like teammates and brothers. Like brothers are more likely to get into fights or they sometimes don't work together. And like you don't really see that many good brother combos. Maybe other than the McCourty brothers, you haven't really seen anything like that.
Mhm.
So I think if I'm the Steeler, I understand if you do it, but there's a big risk if you don't, because you don't want to mess up what you have.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so yeah, in the comments, you can say your predictions of where you think he'll go. Okay, so next is the Packers. Okay, also, I think the Packers D line's pretty young. Always the smart person about the Packers defense. So, but yeah, what do you think, Ave, about JJ Watt going there?
I think it would be a good fit, and there's less downside than going to the Steelers. Because I think they're definitely probably going to be in Super Bowl contention next year, which is the one reason that he left the Texans. Second, it is his hometown, so maybe he'll like going there. And third, the Packers defense is not as good as the Steelers defense, so it's not enough to ruin. I mean, there's some to ruin, but not a lot to ruin.
They were a fake good defense.
Yeah.
And I think correct me if I'm wrong, but they are some pretty young people, right? So like it's good to have a locker room kind of leader like that who maybe isn't the best performer now because he's older, but he can still help the young defense in like a locker room way. And then how are they doing on cap space, the Packers?
I think we didn't have a lot before, but we restructured David Bakhtiari's contract because he tore his ACL.
Mhm.
So I think that's another reason that they're showing that they want to get JJ Watt, because if there was no point to do it if you're not going to get JJ Watt, or at least try to, right? So I think I think they freed up some cap space. So I mean, we probably don't have a lot, but if JJ's willing to sacrifice some money to win or like compete for a Super Bowl and come back to his
Bucks
hometown,
in the conference championship.
yeah, and actually get some pressure. Because honestly, we don't have a D line, we don't have cornerbacks except one, which is Jair Alexander, and we don't have a middle linebacker. I mean, we have Zadarius Smith and
you guys have
Preston Smith, but
Clinton Dix.
Eh,
yeah, I know, that's what I'm saying. Like we don't have I mean, Jair Alexander and Kenny Clark are mainly our defense by itself, right?
yeah.
So I think one, it's great to have a leader with some experience. Two, he doesn't have to do everything by himself. JJ Watt, like honestly, there hasn't been really any great defensive Texans in
Yeah.
recent memory. So I think that's why I think JJ Watt would be a nice place to go. I mean, we would be able to give him not a lot of money, but at least some money.
Yeah. All right, Son, your thoughts?
Yes, I feel like there is less downsides to going to the Packers, but there's less upsides too. Because, like, you think of it, oh, it's his hometown. He'd like to go there. He has two brothers in Pittsburgh. So I think he will go to Pittsburgh, but Packers could be like a second decision. It is his hometown, so that's good. And I feel like, yeah, the Packers might need some pressure. Because if they do end up playing Brady in the AFC or in the NFC Championship again, they will need pressure to beat Brady. Because
And there's other
really,
old quarterbacks in that
yeah,
conference.
there are a lot of old quarterbacks.
Well, actually, Breeze is retiring, so
And Phillips in the AFC, but whatever.
yeah.
Buddy.
But
Sorry.
yeah. Anyway, so next, I believe Colts was another possibility. I don't know about this one. I feel like there's not very many benefits to that.
And also, they're kind of like the Steelers because they didn't have a bad defense either. I think they were like top 5 or something. So I don't know if you want. I think go after the quarterback.
Like they're
Don't
not
worry
winning a
about-
soup. Philip Rivers retired. First off, he wasn't gonna win a soup. He was gonna go to the.
He was
playoffs.
just a 1-year rental. Come on.
Yeah, and
But-
can I say something? Young, really good, like MVP, Super Bowl contender, like young quarterbacks are getting rare and rare. They're very scarce. Right
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I feel like the Colts are in a similar position to the Steelers in terms of like where their team is because defense is pretty good, but they had an old quarterback last year who got them just to the playoffs.
Mhm.
And now they're in a position where they don't have a high draft pick and they don't have a quarterback. Like they
Yeah, I agree with that, except the fact that Jacoby Brissett is still
Oh.
there, and he's not a bad quarterback either, and he's
Yeah.
relatively young. So I wouldn't be surprised if he started week 1 for the Colts, but they could go after some quarterback, maybe trade up or something. But I think with that defense, it's just like they had a good defense last year. It's kind of like the same thing with the Steelers. They had a good defense. Their offense was relatively slow, because they had a slow quarterback. But
I just feel like their running game is good, but Brissett isn't. He's not like I would say championship or like Super Bowl content. Or like he's not like that good. Like if you look at like the 2010 to 2020, right? If you look at that, they had like Breeze, Brady, Peyton Manning. So all those guys, but like now it's really like only like Mahomes, Lamar.
Lamar's
guess
not
you could
anything,
put Watkins or Watson,
Mhm.
But I think we're missing the main point here. Are the Colts championship contenders? No.
No,
they're not. Yeah,
they
that's
are
the thing.
not.
So that's why, like it was a bold move for him to leave. If he's gonna leave, that means he's looking for a Super Bowl or a Super Bowl contender because you're not just like the Texans in a way are kind of similar to the Colts. They're not winning a Super Bowl.
See, I
So-
feel like the Titans are close to the Colts too because they have
Yeah.
running
So another
game.
one, yeah, Titans. They have a bad defense, so that's a place he could go.
I also think
I
that
think
the-
it's the same situation there. I mean, their defense is terrible. Why would you want to go to like a relatively
Yeah.
same defense as the Texans.
Well,
Yeah,
a
but
big
then again,
upside
though,
though
they
to
can
the
he can make them.
Titans and to the Colts is that you're going against the Texans two times a year.
Yeah, he could
So I
go.
mean, if you really want revenge,
Yeah, but
I
does
guess
he?
you
I
could go
don't think
for.
it's not that kind of relationship. Like for JJ Watt, I don't think it's like he hates Houston now.
I
It's like
guess, yeah.
he asked to be released because they.
I mean, why would there be any bad blood between them? Because he gave them a career that he loved Texas.
Yeah, and they like him too. Like he asked for the release, and I think they understand why.
It's not like
Okay.
Deshaun Watson where they were like, "Hey, you can't leave. You're under
Yeah.
arrest or house
Yeah.
arrest or whatever."
All right, so then, honestly, I think with the Titans, their defense sucks, so there's nothing he can do to make them
Mhm.
worse, and that's a possible thing where he can get them into some shape. And they could be Super Bowl contenders. They just need a better defense, to be honest.
See, what I think the Titans need though is like really good skill. I feel like they need
Okay, they
skill.
have plenty of that, buddy.
The Titans,
Yeah,
their defense,
Not on defense.
Not
their
on
defense
no.
needs skill.
Mhm.
JJ Watt brings experience and leadership, but really they
True,
need
true.
skill.
Yeah, if he would be willing to take less, that's a place he could go. But then, last thing, unless I'm missing one, but Cardinals, DeAndre Hopkins tweeted. He tweeted to JJ Watt. And he said, "Let's finish what we started," or something along those lines. That's actually not a bad place either. Their defense was bad, probably close, similar to the Titans' defense. So
But what did they start?
They started in
They were in-
Texas.
they
They
were
were both
both
in
at-
Texans.
yeah,
I know, but like let's finish what we started.
like win a Super Bowl together.
They were not choking a lead to going to the AFC Championship
Yeah.
game.
So
I guess,
okay, look,
but
if he goes there, that's actually not a bad place either. They have some young guys, and the defense sucks, but they could eventually. I know he's pretty old now, but in the next couple of years, they could be Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he wants to be a contender right now, so that's
Yeah,
basically
but
off
I
the
mean,
list too.
if he's considering the Colts or something like that, I
See,
would say the Cardinals have a better
again,
chance.
What about
again,
the
like
Browns?
I said at the
I think the
beginning
Browns.
of
People are
last
saying
year's
Browns.
season.
Yeah,
I
okay,
don't think-
Browns is also an interesting one. It'll be against his brothers 2 times a year.
Mhm.
Oh, boy.
But he's been doing that all his life,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
But-
It'd be interesting to see.
I would actually like to see him go there.
Yeah,
Also for the Cardinals though, also you said they could be winning Super Bowls in the next few years. The thing is like I said at the beginning of last year's
don't you dare
football
say
season, I said they would not be good.
They
I
were
don't
good.
think
They just weren't good enough.
They didn't make the playoffs.
I honestly think it was the
They
coach-
were Kyler Murray not
When
being
you don't make the
like
playoffs, you can never say that you're good. They have talent. okay?
they have it. I don't know what happened to them. They should have been better, but they choked. at the
Shoulda,
end of
woulda,
the season.
coulda. Okay.
Okay, but so I think adding a couple people, they could be in that conversation for a
Adding
Super
a
Bowl.
couple people,
I think I would like
but
to
they're
see
not
him
in
go to the Browns.
Super Bowl conversation.
We're
like,
talking about
maybe-
JJ Watt, not the Cardinals, okay?
Yeah,
Maybe
okay, so-
championship round
Yeah.
conversation.
Okay. So the Browns, right? Last team. They have talent on the defense.
Mhm.
Myles Garrett. I think they have like Denzel Ward or something.
They have
Really,
Denzel.
they do really need someone like JJ Watt though, who can put him in place.
Because
in
Miles,
case,
it's kind of like the same situation with Packers, except their offense is not as good as the Packers. Like they have that one D tackle, that one cornerback, and that's basically about it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, see, like if you look at the whole list, we had Packers, Steelers, what was it, Bucks, Titans, and Browns, right?
Colts. Yeah,
and-
yeah.
Like out of those, like if you look at it, Packers and maybe, I guess Packers and Bucks are like the two teams that actually have a good offense.
Mhm.
So that puts a little bit of pressure off of him. So some of them are able to give the money that he wants, and then some of them are actually title contenders. So I think, like, if you look at the Browns, they are definitely trending in the right direction, but
Yeah.
they're not winning a Super Bowl anytime soon,
Nope.
unless he's willing to go there long term. It doesn't seem like he wants to go there long term.
See,
But-
they need more players than
What
like
the what I'm thinking is the Browns need someone like JJ Watt. They need someone who's got
they do.
leadership
They need
and to
an
put him in the
experienced
correct place.
leader.
You've got Miles Garrett taking helmets off of
And I-
people and smashing them, right? You can't have that happening to your defense, okay?
Yeah,
I don't think
Put him
though
in
that
place
I don't
and make
think
him humble. He's got to make him nice, and that's what I think he could bring to.
I think that the problem is not the run defense; it's the passing defense. Their
Mhm.
corners are super trash.
yeah.
Okay,
that's-
like Miles Garrett and has been doing perfectly fine with the run defense.
Mhm.
It was the passing defense which was the problem. And I mean, Miles Garrett been getting pressure. I mean, if you get JD Watt for passing pressure defense, like to get pressure, which is what he mainly does, I understand that. But
But
I
nowadays
think they
there's
should invest in corners because I like Denzel Ward, except that he went to Ohio State. But I think that you know,
They need
they
more.
need to invest in more corners.
Yeah, I think they're in a similar
Also-
situation as like the Colts or I mean the Browns defense is decent. It's I mean actually not really. That Miles Garrett's good. Like you said, Sanjay, I believe they need a leader like JJ Watt, but I don't know. They're not Super Bowl ready yet.
What I think also is happening is, you know how you said, yeah. So there shouldn't be. I don't like defenses with like pressure but no secondary anymore because now, there's been more like mobile quarterbacks now, like Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes. They can all move around, like even Josh Allen, Tannehill, so Watson. So they're all starting to be able to move around. Versus,
Tannehill can't move, son.
yeah, he does.
He can run, I guess, decently, but
He can. He's
He
mobile.
can run as fast as
He
Aaron
can
Rodgers.
scramble
Okay,
the pocket.
please.
He runs away from pressure. If you look at all of his
yeah,
games,
yeah, he does.
he's such an underrated runner. If
Mhm.
you look at his games, you can
You say
watch
Ryan
him
Tannehill over
scramble
Kyler
up the
Murray.
pocket
Yeah.
and like move around, and then be able to throw on the run. And
Yeah, all right.
That's
So-
what Aaron
Okay,
Rodgers
we're
does.
not
Okay,
talking about
whatever.
Tannehill. All right. So, anyways, yeah, those are possible places for JJ Watt. Like I said in the comments, go ahead and let us know who you think. But yeah, that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Make sure to share, like, and subscribe.